Collagen is the most abundant protein in our bodies, where it's used to make connective tissue. This type of tissue connects other tissues and is a major component of tendons, which attach our muscles to our bones, and a vital element of the cartilage covering the surface of our bones at the various joints. But the most famous function of collagen is its role in skin health and its potential anti-aging benefits. We've invited Dr. Paulo into studio to discuss some of the challenges surrounding dietary collagen sources, as well as the factors driving the consumption of supplemental collagen. Now, Paulo, obviously from that introduction, collagen is basically fundamental to our structure and our ability to maintain our bodies and hold them together. But
Correct.
Why is there a challenge with the production of collagen in our own bodies?
Especially as we age. So obviously it has to do with two factors: a reduced supply of raw materials and a less effective production process.
Okay.
Now the reduced supply of raw materials may have to do with reduced intake, but the primary reason is that over time, as we age, the competition for limited resources worsens. Okay, it becomes a more significant factor. For example, vitamin C's single most important function is the production of collagen.
Right.
All right? But vitamin C is also an antioxidant. Now, your body produces very powerful antioxidants such as glutathione and SOD. But if it can't make those, and it really needs more antioxidant capacity to fight off free radicals, it will take vitamin C.
Right. Okay.
All right? And the increase of free radicals as we age is a known factor. So as we age, more vitamin C is being rechanneled to fight free radicals, less vitamin C is available for collagen production.
Okay.
This is just one of the potential aspects, all right, of supply and demand.
Right.
Then in terms of outside factors, so things like smoking, sun exposure, excess alcohol, excess stress, which produces excess cortisol. So all of these factors impact the production of collagen, whether directly or indirectly. So insults such as smoking or sun exposure will damage collagen, which will in turn mean that the body realizes it needs to fix the collagen or produce more collagen, placing extra demands on a production line that is already unable to produce sufficient for what the demands were before the insult arrived, if you understand.
It's quite a vicious cycle of things.
So those are the main reasons why, as we age, the production of collagen seems to decrease. Okay.
So, Paulo, in terms of dietary collagen that we can get into our bodies, where do we find this? What are the foods that are going to contain collagen?
All right, so collagen is found in animal flesh that contains connective tissue, or in the bone.
Right.
Okay. Things like brisket, chuck steak, which are not very popular anymore, it seems to me, but that's where you find collagen. Now, remember that collagen is made up of 19 amino acids in a certain ratio and proportion.
Right.
So there are 20 amino acids, so there's only one amino acid missing from collagen, so it is not classified as a complete protein because of that. So 19 amino acids. Then you need zinc, vitamin C, copper, and manganese for the production of collagen, besides the amino acids, which means that any foods that contain any of these factors would also be helpful.
Yes.
So basically you need to supply your body with all these different amino acids, vitamins and minerals, and the body would be able to make collagen. Remember that when you consume foods that contain collagen, in terms of containing connective tissue, when your body digests the food, it breaks it up into amino acids.
Right.
You do not absorb collagen into your system. You absorb amino acids. Your body must then decide what to do with those amino acids.
Okay. So they're not always going to be built back into
They're
collagen.
not always going to be built back into collagen, because collagen is not vital for life. All right? So if the functioning and the regeneration of essential organs such as the kidney, the liver, and so on, those are more important. And if proteins, amino acids are required there, or zinc, or vitamin C, and there isn't sufficient to produce collagen, well, tough luck in a sense.
Right.
Collagen will not be produced, at least not in the amounts that you would like it to be produced, especially in terms of skin. So that's where you get it from animal sources.
Right. So in terms of those animal sources, I mean, traditional bone broths have been purported to be very useful for collagen intake. But now there are additional studies that are showing that these bone broths, while there's the collagen benefit, there's also the potential negative of the leads and the toxins that are coming in because of the way our food is grown.
Yes. So traditional bone broths include the simmering of bones with a little vinegar. Okay, so the vinegar is there to help dissolve the bone so it can release the minerals and the amino acids over a period of about anything from 4 to 24 hours. Okay, and of course, as you said, there's a concern that these broths may contain amounts of heavy metals such as lead specifically. All right, there is research. So one particular one claims that when they did a broth with chicken bones as opposed to doing a broth with the flesh of the chicken, the one with chicken bones contained 3 times as much lead as the other one with just the flesh. There's another one, broth of cattle bones, which showed very low levels of calcium and magnesium, but relatively high levels of cadmium and lead, which are heavy metals. But I think the general message there is that in terms of broths, the nutritional value that is available in the finished product, all right, depends on many factors. It depends on the type of bone used. It depends on the acidity that was used in the broth and on the cooking temperature and cooking time.
Okay.
So the message there is that the nutritional content will vary widely.
Okay, right.
Notwithstanding the fact that there may be amounts of heavy metals such as lead which are detrimental to our bodies.
Okay. So Paulo, what are some of the things that would, from a lifestyle perspective, protect the body's collagen and help to keep it intact effectively?
Well, first of all, obviously a healthy and balanced diet. Because if you could provide your body with the correct amounts of amino acids, for example, in terms of protein, and then all the other factors that I mentioned, the vitamin C, the zinc, and so on, in terms of all the functions where they are utilized, plus collagen, you would theoretically have a proper collagen factory producing all the time. So that's always the first step. Okay. Then in terms of the factors that I mentioned earlier, you should use sunscreen, reduce exposure to the sun, stop smoking. Even second-hand smoking is detrimental. Okay. All right, reduce your alcohol intake and find ways to control stress. Mm-hmm. In other words, control the production of cortisol, which has a negative effect on the production of collagen.
Okay. Now, Paulo, collagen supplementation has been around for quite a long time, but initially it was very much in sort of cosmetic products. All the creams and things had collagen containing elements. Why is collagen supplementation such a sort of interesting discussion, and how has it evolved over time?
At the moment, yes. So initially, as you say, it started in creams and serums. The one important thing to consider there is that collagen is not present on the surface of the skin. It's present in the deeper layers of the skin. It was found initially that collagen in its original form is a very large molecule, so it could not be absorbed through the skin. It can't even be absorbed through the gut as collagen. Okay. So the manufacturers then started using things called hydrolyzed collagen or peptides, which are basically chains of a small number of amino acids. Okay, but you need to keep in mind the fact remains, however it is absorbed, you're absorbing components. Mm-hmm. Your body will then decide whether to reassemble those components and when to reassemble those components.
And then, Paulo, I mean, from this information, obviously there's changes in thinking and theories and things, but what does the actual research show about collagen supplementation?
So amongst dermatologists, it is understood that oral collagen has much better results than topical collagen. Okay. Creams and serums. That's important to remember. Most of the research has been done on joints and skin. Okay. All right. So, for example, collagen is essential for the walls of arteries. Okay. And very, very important. But there isn't much research in that area. So it has been found that it increases skin elasticity, for example. In terms of joints, it increases mobility and decreases pain. So it's very important for osteoarthritis and even for athletes. Right. 60% of the cartilage in a joint is made up of collagen. So
Paulo, I mean, obviously there's quite a lot available and there are different kinds and forms, as you've mentioned, but what are some of the challenges of collagen supplementation? Because I know that there are certain factors that are going to be positive, negative for various people, like vegetarians.
Yes, yes. So, yes, as you say. So the true collagen in supplements is usually from an animal or a fish source, all right, which then brings the potential contamination of heavy metals into question. So you'd have to look at the source of the collagen and so on. And then, of course, it is not acceptable for vegans and vegetarians, as you've just mentioned.
Okay. So, Paulo, we then found a possible solution to that, which is quite exciting. It's called Collagen Complex. This one comes from Terranova by Phytoceutics. Tell us about this, because as we've mentioned, there is no collagen in vegetables. So why would this be a suitable collagen supplement?
All right, because this is a plant-based complex of amino acids. All right, so as you rightly say, there is no collagen in plants, but plants contain amino acids. Different plants contain different amino acids. So what they've done here, so Terranova is a company from the UK that we have discussed before, and so they've taken plant-based amino acids and they've gone a step further. They've fermented these amino acids. Now these amino acids are put together in the same ratio as the amino acids in collagen.
Okay.
So the attempt here is to kind of give your body the exact ingredients to bake this cake, so to speak. All right. But in a way, by using it in terms of fermented amino acids, it means that they create what is called a water dispersible complex, so that the absorption through the gut is unhindered.
Okay.
So it increases the absorption. So now this complex of amino acids is now in your body. Your body now has the exact amino acids to follow the recipe.
Right.
So remember that, again, we are faced with a challenge that the body may not do that at the beginning necessarily as you begin to take the product.
Right. So how long might it take for you to actually be getting the collagen benefit?
So the small amount of trials that have been done on this show us that it takes at least 3 months or more for one to begin to notice that the skin is more supple, more hydrated, it's firmer. Okay, the lines and wrinkles are less pronounced. The nails are less brittle, for example. So we're looking at about 3 months. And that would kind of make sense in a generally healthy person, because what it's telling us is that the body is receiving amino acids, which are the correct ones to make collagen. But the body needs some of these amino acids elsewhere.
To fill in the
gaps. And from the body's point of view, that elsewhere is more important for the maintenance of life than collagen right now. But eventually, over time, the elsewhere problems seem to be taken care of. And because they're taken care of, we now have time to make collagen. Okay, so to speak.
So that's restoring all the stocks in the body so that you then got what you need.
So that's what people must understand.
And obviously, this being amino acids, it's pretty much safe for everybody to take?
It's safe for everybody. Another important thing about the product, remember Terranova adds something called a magnifood complex. So it is a complex of plant substances that have been freeze-dried. And in this case, for example, it contains rose hips. And that is because it wants to supply, besides the proteins, the plant-based proteins, it wants to supply the manganese, the zinc, the other factors that are used in the manufacture of collagen from a natural source.
Okay, so to complete that picture.
Yes.
And Paula, is this freely available? We can find it anywhere?
I believe it's available in health shops and pharmacies.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Very, very interesting. A lot that I've learned today about collagen that I wasn't aware of. So thank you for sharing it with us.